Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you are doing fine. Okay, so in our previous session, we had solved few sums. So today also we'll be solving few sums so as to become more perfect in it. So let's proceed with our today's class. So the first question says, find the smallest square number that is divisible by each of the numbers 8, 15 and 20. This question can be solved in two simple steps. Before solving, let me ask you something. Are you all aware of the term HCF? It states highest common factor. Right. Right? So if this is then, are you all aware about LCM? Lowest common multiple? Okay. So then, in this question we have to deal with LCM. That's why I have asked you. So LCM of, first we have to find the LCM of 8, 15 and 20. There might be a question why. Is it necessary to find the LCM of 8, 15 and 20, right? Because we have to know that which is the smallest number which is divisible by 8, 15 and 20. If it's not, then they have asked the smallest square number. So if it's not a square number, then we'll have to do the next step. So first of all, we'll have to find the LCM. So let's start. Are you all aware of how to find an LCM of three numbers? If not, please see. It's going to be like this. 8 and 20, they are divisible by 2. So we can start with 2. 2 4s are 15 as it is. 2 10s are. Same way again 2. 2 2s are 15 as it is. And 2 5s are. 2 1s are 15 as it is. And 5. Next, you can proceed with 5, I hope. 5 1s are 5 15. 5 3s are 15. And 5 1s are. Next. 1 3 and 1. 3 1s are 3 1s are 3 1s are and 3 1s are. So at last we have achieved 1 1 1 at the end. So now next thing to go with it is okay. So the next thing 2 2 2 5 3. So do you think that our number is a first okay? So then we have to multiply. Then I'll ask this question. Let me first check it. What's the answer? 4 4 is 8, 8 5 is 40, and 40 into 3 is 120. So is 120 a perfect square? No, it's not at all a perfect square. But we cannot say it with so much of confidence. So we have to check whether 120 is a perfect square or not. So for that, we'll have to go with again the prime factorization method. 2 60s are 2 30s are 2 15s are 3 5s are 15 5 1s are. So we find that there is still lagging because 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. In this, one thing we found in pair, but these three are not in pair. So we'll have to multiply with each of them. Why is when you multiply 2 into 3 into 5, we get 30. But why do we have to multiply 30? Can't we divide 30? If we divide it by 30, then what will be the result? 2 2, only these two will be remaining and it will be 4. But 4 is not the lowest common multiple. It's a square number. It's not the lowest common multiple which is divisible by 8, 15 and 20. Right? So it cannot be true. So we'll have to multiply it by 30. So when we multiply it with 30, 120 into 30, it's going to be 3600. So 3600. So we say that, what do we say in this case? We say that 3600 or 3600 is the smallest square number that is divisible by each of the numbers 8, 15 and 20. Do you have to check 3600 whether 3600 is a perfect square or not? It is. 3600, it is a perfect square of 600. Yes, square root is equal to 600. Okay, so we have actually not 600, 60. It's 60. 60. Okay, so when we multiply 60 into 60, it's going to be 3600. Okay, so this is fine, right? Did you understand this sum? Which is fine. The smallest answer is equal to 3600. This is the smallest square number that is divisible by 8, 15 and 20. Okay, if you want to check, you can also check it. Next, so let's see what the next question says. Shall we proceed? Is there any doubt? If you have any doubt, please place it in the comments box. I'll re-explain it if it's related to this, or if you have any other doubt, you can type it. Next question says that 2025 plants are to be planted in a garden in such a way that each row contains as many plants as the number of rows. Find the number of rows and the number of plants in each row. So first let's understand this question by a pictorial representation. Pictorial representation. That means a gardener. Let's assume him to be a gardener. He wants to plant 2025 plants. How many? 2025 plants in such a way that each row contains as many plants as the number of rows. That means these are the rows. For example, there are 4 rows. So there are 4 plants in each row. That each row contains as many plants as the number of rows. For example, there are 4 rows, then he wants to plant 4 plants in each row. Okay. Then the next thing, find the number of rows and number of plants in each row. So if there are going to be 4 rows and 4 plants in each row, then it's not going to suit, because in all we'll be able to grow only 16 plants, plant only 16 plants. But he wants to plant 2025 plants. So can you guess what should we do in this case? We have to find the square root of 2025. Why? Because if we are going to multiply that square root 2 times with itself, for example, if we get 5, if we multiply, we are going to get 25. That means these are the number of rows and these are the number of plants in each row. Okay, that's why. So let's find using the prime factorization method 2025. If we go with it to 10 can we go with 2? No, that's not the thing. We can go with 3, right? Take the divisibility rule and then 6 of 18, 2, 725, so like this, and then with 3, 3 2 are 6, We can go with 3 again. 3 sevens are 21. 3 fives are 75. Can we go with 3 again? 3 2 6. 3 fives are. And again with 5 5 ones is equal to 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 5 into 5. So if we see, it's like 3, 5 and 5. So we find all of them in pairs. If we pick up one from each pair, it's going to be 45. So that implies that square root of 2025 is 45. That means if there are 45 rows, there are going to be 45 plants in each row. How are we going to calculate whether it's wrong or right? Because 45 rows and 45 plants in each row. So number of plants, 45 into 45, it is equal to 2025. Right? 45 square is equal to 2025. That's why the square root of 2025 is equal to 45. Right? So there are going to be 45. Number of rows and number of plants in each row. 45 rows and 45 plants in each row. Right? So was this question clear? Let's see what the next question is. Okay, before going on to the next question, it's a good news that we have actually done a lot of practice with our sums. So the next class we'll be solving just one question. This is the question which will be solving. What is the length of a diagonal of a square of side 8 centimeter? And then, if possible, you all can try it on your own and send your answers in the comments box below. And if you have come across any doubts, you're welcome. Okay, thank you. Any doubts in the comments?